Hello and welcome to Created to Create. I'm Leslie, and today I'm going to be showing you how step by step to create the tennis shoe cup with the laces. Few of you have seen this cup that I created a couple of weeks ago, and I was posting on a couple of the pages on Facebook, and I got a lot of inquiries on how to do these shoelaces here. And so what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna create another cup. This is gonna be like an Air Force One white with the bling and everything. But more importantly, I'm just gonna be showing you how to do these shoestrings. Okay, so what you're gonna need is to loop the shoestrings. You're gonna need this. It's a 12 millimeter heavy gauge jumbo ring by Jewelry Shop. I get this from Hobby Lobby. It's $2.99, so it's pretty cheap. So yeah, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need your E6000. Definitely gonna need your shoestrings. A popsicle stick, and that's just kind of help move the glue around or whatnot. And definitely some scissors and things of that nature. So I'm gonna go ahead and bling it up and everything, and then when I get to the shoestring part, I'll go ahead and record that. Okay, so we're back, and like I said before, we are doing the tennis shoe cup. Basically really just emphasizing on the shoestrings. I get a lot of questions in reference to the shoestrings on the Jordan 12 tennis shoe cup. So I'm going to do it on this one here. This one here is going to be a Air Force One white cup with bling on the bottom. And I'm going to make the Nike swooshes and bling as well. And then some, we're going to do the decals and everything else. But what I really want to show you is these here. These here are where the lace loops go, where the laces go through. And so I didn't want them to be silver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and paint them white with the Rust-Oleum white paint, like the same paint that I painted this one here with. But I'm going to go ahead and paint these really quick. Now, you do want 12 of them, because usually if you count the loops, the holes in the shoes for the laces, it's 12 in that particular shoe. It's really 14, but I'm not going to do the two top ones with, usually people never use those anyway, but I'm going to go ahead and do 12. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and paint these. Be right back. Hey there, I'm back again. So went ahead and I blinged everything out, and I've gotten my rings. I got them all spray painted and colored and everything, so they're ready to go. What I'm going to do is, before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead and measure out my holes, where they're going to be at. So we already determined it was going to be 6 holes per side, basically 12 holes. And then but they need to be even. So what I did was I took my measuring tape like so, and then what you want to do is you want to measure from side to side 1.5 inches wide. 2 inches is way too wide. I've learned that 1.5 inches is just perfect. And then so what I did was I went ahead and measured from the top and came down about 1.25 inches down from the rim, because right here is where you want your tag, like your tongue tag. Right there's where you want your tongue tag at. So I brought it down about 1.25 inches. And then from that point, I just took a pencil and just started marking. So, but I would mark every 4 ticks. So there's the first mark here. I'm gonna bring it to you a little closer. You see, there's the first mark there, and then you go to 1, 2, 3, 4 mark, 1, 2, 3, 4 mark, 1, 2, 3, 4 mark, 1, 2, 3, 4 mark. Then I stopped right there, and then I took my measuring tape and went across 1.5 inches. I'm sorry, that's upside down. But 1.5 inches. And then from there, I marked at the bottom. And then again, went up, went this way. And then went upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4 mark, 1, 2, 3, 4 mark, 1, 2, 3, 4 mark, 1, 2, 3, 4 mark. And you'll notice that they are symmetrical. If you go across, you can just test it to make sure that everything's in line. So they're pretty, it's pretty close. It's pretty close, So yeah, so that's what you want to do to prepare for your rings. Now, I'm using like a little purple pen, just a little, don't make a big mark, just something really small where you can see to put your rings on top of, because you won't be able to see them once you put the shoestrings and stuff in it. And so yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a layer of epoxy on the top of it, because I really don't want to. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and just put a coat of sealant on it, because what I've learned is that the epoxy, not the epoxy, I'm sorry, the E600, sometimes it'll move the paint or whatever. So I'm just going to go ahead and seal it like it is, even with the marks, and then I'm going to come back. I'm not thinking I don't want to put anything on this, because I'm going to be putting the swooshes, and so I don't want it to, to overdo it. I might just go ahead and put a sealant on it and put a small dusting of a white glitter or whatever, just to kind of spruce it up a little bit. But I don't want to overdo it, because it is a white Air Force One, so I don't want to overly do it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So before I went ahead and showed you guys how to put the shoestrings on and everything, I just kind of wanted to show you the files that I created for the shoe cup. And so this is the back flap of the shoe. I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. Kind of like this part right here. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I drew in Illustrator and Photoshop. I'm a graphic designer, so it's kind of easy for me just to kind of, make my own files or whatnot. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. And then I created it's here, just kind of like looking around. You guys can find like PNGs online, PNG files online. And then I created this here as well. And this normally would say Air Force One, but I wanted to say something different. I'm saying always winning, it's girls. But anyway, I wanted to show you that. And then here's my Silhouette Studio files. So I've already did the trace and everything, so they're pretty much ready to cut. I did the swooshes here, one for the right, one for the left. And I've just learned just through trial and error, when you're when you're trying to cut small files, and you know, especially weed, like little words like this, little letters like that, sometimes you end up messing it up, and it's just pain in the butt to go back in and try to do it again. So I always just make an extra one just in case. And then with these here, you're going to reverse weed them. So you're going to take out the Nike and the Air, and you're going to keep all of this here. So this pretty much will be like see-through to the white on the cup. So yeah, I wanted to show you that. We're going to go ahead and get into doing those shoelaces. So let me set it up. Hi again. All right. So we're about to put on the jumbo rings here on the cup with the shoestring. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the shoelaces here. Sorry. So these, you know, y'all, it comes two to a pack. So you just kind of pull one out like that. You can just tear that off. Put that to the side. You only need one shoestring. Okay. This is pretty long. So what we're going to do initially, we're just going to go ahead and just lace it up like regular. But in the end, we're going to end up cutting it. Because it's, again, this is way too long. Way too long. Okay? So, so what we're going to do is going to start out, first we're going to figure out how do you want your shoestrings to be laced up. Usually, if you look at the most sneakers when they come with the bottom portion outward like that. So that's what we're gonna do today. So we're gonna make it like that, and then we're gonna begin to lace it up in a certain way. All right. So what you want to do is you want to take your rings and you want to put it the side painted side down on the right, and then on the left hand side you want it painted side up. Okay, that way you'll get it like this. Okay, I did that wrong. This side, both of them painted side down. That way the shoestring will be up. Like so. Okay. So we figure out how long it is. So remember, we got the little marks that we put on here. And so we're just gonna lay the rings and the shoestring on top of the marks. We're gonna figure out where we're gonna mark it at. All right. So there's one. So we're just gonna push that down a little bit. We're going to take our E6000, and then we are going to begin to put some glue, like right here. Don't put too much. Just a little dab will do you. And a little bit over here. Like that. And then you'll take your rings and you kind of just lay it on top like that. Also too, before it gets dry and everything, what I like to do is take my shoestring and kind of twist it a little bit under. Because you need it to go, the shoestring to go to the other side. And again, take the other side. Make sure you're pushing down so the glue will adhere. And then take this other side and go the other way as well. Because you're going to have to go... So there's that. And just make sure that's good and straight. And you just kind of want to leave it for a couple of seconds, or about a minute or two. I wouldn't say about a minute or two, but until it's good and tacky. And, you know, it's not moving much or whatnot. So while that's doing that, you want to go ahead and put your other rings in. And this may be just a little long, and I apologize in, you know, already, you know, in the beginning. It's not what I really like to do, like talk about or whatnot. It's just something I just get in here and do and be done with it. Okay, so we got the next one here. Just make sure you're not covering too much the other notch, where that's gonna go. And then put your glue, a glue dab there. Make sure that sticks, and then you're gonna do your other one. And it's starting to kind of twist on me, so I apologize. That's still not tacking down as good as I would like it to. So it's kind of hiding there. All right, so take your glue again and dab it good. All right. Now, I like that it doesn't dry too fast, because you can kind of move the rings around a little bit. See, like that one's coming up a little bit, but and you don't want to handle the rings too much, because again, they do have paint on them, and I didn't seal the paint with sealer, so you may, you know, you may stand the risk, may have the risk of getting some paint removed off of them. But so there's that. Okay, here's another ring. See, they come up a little bit, so I'm just gonna give it a second here to adhere a little bit better, and then you can go back in on some of the other ones. Just kind of put a little more glue there. Yeah, don't worry about getting it on the on the shoestring itself, because it does turn clear. Just a little bit more glue here. Yeah, just make sure you're keeping them symmetrical as well, because they can slide on you if you're not paying attention to it. Yeah, so, so let that sit for just a little bit. I'm moving a little too fast. And so a lot of people have asked me, do I put epoxy on top of these? Yes. And then the epoxy will not harm anything. It will look absolutely gorgeous. Just don't overdo it. I know my first cup, I did overdo it. Everybody liked it, but you know, I think, you know, we all are our worst critic anyway. So I was like, that's too much epoxy. It looks a little too thick, but everybody loved it. So I was like, okay. So yeah. See, that's still not sticking like it needs to. And sorry my computer is so loud here. It's just, I guess it needs to be air blowed out or whatever, but it is just running like the wind. So I'll clean that in a little bit. Need an air can. Again, just hold this. Just a little bit about myself while we, you know, just is like watching paint dry. I am a graphic designer. I've been a graphic designer for about, I'd say about 15 years. I've been a photographer for 22 years. I don't do it professionally anymore. I do it, you know, just, you know, when people need something or whatever, or if I just feel a little niche or to do something or whatnot. I'm gonna put this a little closer so you kind of see what I'm doing here. Okay, you see there. These are just kind of just waiting to go over, but you kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about here. This is what I did. I kind of bedazzled the bottom and everything. So it's, like I said, it's gonna be an Air Force One cup. A Nike Air Force One cup, and so I have to show you what that looks like when I get done with it. So pretty much, you know, it's just step and repeat. You know, with these shoestrings, you just gotta be patient with them. You don't want them lifted and, you know, popping up and things of that nature. So I'm doing this video because I haven't seen a tutorial on how to do these things. And so what I did was, I'm one of those kind of people that I see something and I'll study it for a little while and try to figure out exactly how it was done. And then you know, ask questions and things of that nature. But for the most part, I try to make it my own. I've seen, you know, a lot of people with the Converse cups, and that's all I really saw. I didn't see anything else. You know, I'm not a big Converse girl. I don't really care for those shoes. You know, no pun, Converse, you know, you do what you do. But I am an Air Force One girl. I am a Nike girl. I am a Jordan girl. I love Jordans. My kids have always worn Jordans and Air Force Ones, even when they were little. I've always been an Adidas fan and things of that nature. But like I said, as far as Converse, I just never have been a fan. When I was younger, like eons ago, little kid, you know, when Vans first came out, I wore Vans, but you know, and then the old school Vans have come back out, and I love those, but I haven't bought a pair. I'm more of a, like I said before, I'm more Nikes, and Adidas, whatnot. But anyway, so yeah, so we're just trucking along here with this cup. If y'all want to fast forward it, y'all can. It's just step and repeat. I got about 4 more to do. Once we get to the top, and I'm gonna let it sit and dry for a little bit, and then we'll come back. So again, step and repeat. I'm gonna cut the tape for just a moment and finish this up, and then when we get to these shoestrings, I'll show you how to cut them down and position them and things of that nature, and get them ready for epoxy. I think I will go ahead and put the decals and everything on, just so I can get them ready for epoxy. All right, so again, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So everything I've done, everything here, so it is drying. Now, what I was talking about, you know, make sure you're not moving too much because of this E6000. Why, I don't know. It will mess your paint up a little bit. As you can see, I got a little paint. Now, this is when dried. It's been covered with sealant and everything else, but so you can't move too much there. But anyway, I want to show you that. So what I'm going to do is, so I can get it can get fully dry, because you don't want to mess with it, because it'll peel up this paint for some crazy reason. I'm going to turn it face down on my little noodles here. And I'm just going to go ahead and just press down really good. Turn it to the side a little bit where the rings are. You're going to press it down like that. Turn it to the other side. Press it down really well. Like that. Or you can use your hand or whatnot, but I actually kind of like using my noodle. So, there's that. I'm not sure if it's upside down or whatever, but anyway, that's how that looks here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this to fully dry. And then I'm going to take some white paint and then go into the little areas where the E6000 pulled my paint up a little bit, because I didn't want to put epoxy on it or anything. I really didn't want to glitter it, because Air Force Ones are not glitter. They're just like the all white ones. That's kind of what I want to go for. And then, you do see people where they bedazzle the shoe and, things of that nature. I say things of that nature a lot, so you have to excuse me. So anyway, so this is kind of what it looks like right now. Again, it's not fully dry. No, when I come back, you'll see the decals have been put on, and then I'm going to show you how to cut these strings and then position them properly on the cup. So yeah, that's it for right now. I'll be back in just a jiffy. Okay, I'm back. So I finished decaling and bedazzling my shoe cup here. My son came in. He said it looks amazing. He wants to put it on his Snapchat and all this other good stuff. So, so yeah, that's what that looks like there. I still got a little more details of the workout, but I wanted to talk about these shoestrings. Okay, so we got one long shoestring and one short shoestring. So I've already did this one here. What I did was I took some vinyl that I used here and just wrapped it around the tip so it'll match everything. And then, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this shoestring, this side of the shoestring, and we're gonna measure it down. We're just gonna pull it down, see how far this one goes, measure it according to this one here. And so we'll just take our scissors and just kind of cut there. Okay, just like that. And so we're gonna take some vinyl, some vinyl that we have used already. So I've all my cutouts and everything. So I'm just going to just take a piece of my vinyl here. Just gonna cut it off. Just like that. And just kind of cut it off a little even there like this. So there we have that. All right. So with the shoestring, because again, we want them symmetrical. We want them to be the same, like so. So it's about right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pinch this here like that. And I'm gonna take the vinyl. Now the trick is with the vinyl is you don't want to put it even. You want to put it just above the shoestring. Okay, sorry about that. My camera storage got full. So, but yeah, what I was talking about was the tips here, and you want to make sure that your tips are tight. And then, like I said before, I took some of the vinyl that I used for the decals and just put it around the tips of the shoestring. And like I said before, you just want to make sure you put some E6000 on the tip so it'll stay in place. But then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have to place the shoestrings so in place with the E6000. So when I epoxy, it's gonna lay on here. You can do it one of a few different ways or whatnot. So I really haven't figured out exactly how I'm gonna do it, but once I do it and epoxy it and everything, I'll go ahead and post a picture of that at the end of this video as well. But if you have any, suggestions or questions or whatever, again, please feel free to give me a call. A holler, or send a message or whatever. Again, this is my cup. I love it. Here's the bottom. Here's that. And if you want to know what I use for the bling, it is the Paper Studio. I guess it's called a bling set. There's two. I got a smaller one and a larger one. And it's from Hobby Lobby. I got it for 50% off there the other day. You can always catch them on sale. Paper Studio products as well. Also, to anything that I missed, I'm gonna just make sure I got everything. Like I said before, I did go in and touch paint a couple of different areas here that got messed up by the E6000 on that. Anything else? I just want to make sure I've covered everything. Well, yeah. So also too, I did E6000. These These blings are strips, and they're self-adhesive already. So see, it's sticking. But they're not strong. So what I did was I put some E6000 on it, and then put the stickers on it as well, so it wouldn't come off. I'm going to epoxy, in just a little bit. Again, I'm just going to do a little touch up. But, you know, again, thanks for watching.